Please rise. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening song, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Bring your whole self into this place. Your hope, your questions, your longing for joy. Open your ears to the song that rises among us. Open your heart to the spirit of good change that is already moving in the world. Today will be a joyful day, not because everything is easy, but because we choose to gather, to sing, and to make room for hope. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara. Whether you are a longtime member or a visitor here for the very first time, your presence enriches this community. A warm welcome to everyone here in our physical sanctuary and to those joining us in the virtual sanctuary. This is a loving community of seekers where all people of goodwill are welcome. Here we strive to live with integrity, nurture wonder, and transform and inspire the actions that will transform us and transform the world. I'm Carolyn Bierke, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm delighted to be serving the Unitarian Society as ministerial intern. For this morning's service, lead minister Reverend Julia Hamilton is out of the pulpit, and I'm honored to be here with Worship Associate Matthew Grissett, Worship Associate Gary Welterlin, Music Director Matthew Grissett, pianist Heather Levin, Director of Lifespan Education Charla Brigante, and Membership Coordinator Angie Swanson-Kiriakou. I would like to extend a special welcome to any visitors or guests joining us for the very first time. We would like to stay in touch and welcome you into this community. There are connection cards at the welcome table in the courtyard during coffee hour, or you can put your name in the chat online. On the second Sunday of the month, which is today, we have a casual newcomer orientation across the courtyard in the front office. And if you feel like this might be your spiritual home, if you've been attending for a while and decided that the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara is where you want to be, we would like to welcome you into membership in this congregation. You can sign the membership book at the welcome table, and we will connect you to the ongoing life of this community. We have a lot going on beyond our Sunday service. A couple things that I want to highlight. Next Sunday will be a joyful celebration you won't want to miss. We'll begin the morning with the deliciousness and community of a pancake breakfast served from 8:30 to 9:30. Come early, enjoy a sweet time together, and nourish both the body and the spirit before the service. And next week, Our children will take part in the annual Hunt for Justice Easter egg hunt. Each egg will represent a dollar amount, and after the hunt, the children will choose how to distribute the funds we raised last month. They'll place their eggs in one of the 3 baskets, each representing a different organization they'd selected. The number of eggs in the basket will determine how the donations are shared. It will be a morning filled with joy, community, and a spirit of generosity. And now, let us take a breath together and hear the ringing of the bowl.
Good morning. Our chalice lighting is by Lisa Doge. What if sometimes it's not about a light in the darkness? What if sometimes it's about sparkling potential into possibility and possibility into existence? What if sometimes the flame that burns in the chalice of our faith is nothing less than the ember of hope and nothing more than light set ablaze? What if sometimes we all need to do is follow that flame, one among scores, hundreds, thousands of steady flickering flames across the land and amongst so many people, on the way to justice and into the land of peace? What if we dare to kindle that chalice? Okay. I have good news. We all need good news. And a much-needed break after multiple years of severe drought over the past 2 decades, California's statewide Sierra Nevada snowpack, which provides nearly 1/3 of the state's water supply, was 96% full of its historical average on Tuesday, up from 83% a month before. The April 1st reading, considering the most important of the year by water managers because it comes at the end of the winter season, following 2 previous years when the snowpack reached 111% of normal and 237% of normal in 2023. Although we fell a little short of a 3rd year in a row above 100%, together the past 3 years represent more bountiful 3-year periods of the snowpack in 25 years. The last time this happened in 3 years in a row was in 1998, 1999, and 2000. Gosh, what a relief, says Jay Lund, a professor of civil and environmental engineering at UC Davis. We're in good shape. This is one of the best years in decades. So, good news. Thank you.
And now, please rise in body or spirit to join in singing, "I'm on my way."
Good morning, everyone. This is the time in our service where we invite children or anyone who enjoys a good story to come on up and sit here on the rug or on the steps and join me. I appreciate your company this morning. Welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you all. In a minute, I'll ask you to step out to look at a slide, but not quite yet, okay? So some of you, I don't know if any of you do, but some of you know my husband, Chuck. He's Jewish. He's also a Unitarian Universalist, but he's a Jewish Unitarian Universalist, and he's not here this morning because he and his brother are preparing a Passover Seder for the family. What's a Seder? Well, first, let's learn a little bit about the story of Moses and how this Jewish holiday came to be known as Passover. Many Jewish people in the United States and all over the world celebrate Passover, an 8-day holiday which this year began yesterday and continues until next Sunday. Passover is the retelling of the Bible story where Moses becomes the leader of the Jewish people. A long time ago, over 3,000 years ago, in fact, Jews were slaves in Egypt. Under the Pharaoh, who was the king of Egypt, they had to work for no pay or be killed. Moses, who grew up in the Pharaoh's house, called upon the God of the Jewish people to punish the Egyptian people, the same way the Egyptians had punished the Jews. Moses asked God to bring down 10 plagues or curses on the Egyptians. The 10 plagues included things like swarms of frogs, lice, and locusts, among other terrible things. That sounds pretty awful, doesn't it? The 10th plague was the death of every firstborn child in Egypt, including the Pharaoh's son. And in fact, years before, the Pharaoh had killed all the firstborn Jewish people. So now Moses asked God to do the same thing to the Egyptians. To protect the homes of Jewish people from the 10th plague, Jewish families marked their homes with the blood of a lamb so that the angel of death would pass over their homes and not accidentally kill one of the Jewish children. This is why Jewish people call the spring holiday Passover. On the first night of the Passover holiday, and in traditional Jewish homes outside Israel, on the second night too, there is a special Seder. Now we're going to learn about the Seder, which is a meal. And we've had Seder meals here at the Unitarian Society. How many of you have been to one of our Seders? Yeah, me too. And the Seder begins with an invitation and a prayer. The invitation is for anyone who is hungry to come and join the Seder. The prayer is that in the coming year, all slaves shall be set free. Children are encouraged to ask questions at the Seder and to listen to the story of Passover. At the head of the table is a Seder plate. And now I'm going to ask you to stand up so you can see the slide over there. Or you can see it right here. Yeah, it's right behind you too. And on it are symbols of the holiday. There's a vegetable, often parsley, and salt water for dipping. And the salt water is a reminder of the tears the slaves cried. The moror, or the bitter herbs, often horseradish. Have you ever had horseradish, any of you? Yeah, it's bitter. On the plate are a small taste of the bitterness of slavery. The charoset is a clay-like mixture of apples, nuts, spices, and wine, a reminder of the clay the slaves molded into bricks. And it's actually pretty darn tasty. The roasted bone is a reminder of the Passover sacrifice. And there's also a roasted egg on the Seder plate, representing the Jewish people. The egg is the only food that gets harder, not softer, the longer it's cooked, a symbol of the strength and resilience of the Jewish people. There's also matzah on the table. And I have some here. And you'll all get to try some a little bit later, but I'll pull one of them out and you can pass it around. And I had one all pulled out already. There you go. You can take, and you all get to try some later. So matzah is a type of flatbread, and the Jewish people had to flee Egypt really quickly to escape the Egyptian soldiers. So the bread they were baking didn't have time to rise. And so matzah is a kind of flatbread that doesn't rise, and that's what we eat on Passover. Everyone at the Seder gets to drink 4 cups of wine or grape juice. And when the talk of the 10 plagues begins, some wine is spilled in the memory of the Egyptians who died so the Jewish people could be free. Some Jewish families include modern additions to the Seder plate, which I think are kind of nice. There's sometimes an orange to represent LGBTQ plus inclusion, an olive in support of peace between Israel and Palestine, an artichoke in support of interfaith families, and a tomato in support of farm workers' rights. And some Jewish families also talk of modern plagues, things that we need to address in our own time that are troubling our world. And some of these are homelessness, hunger, inequality, greed, discrimination and hatred, silence amid violence, environmental destruction, the stigma of mental illness, ignoring refugees, and powerlessness. But overall, the story of Passover is the story of the freedom of the Jewish people from slavery. That's a good thing, right? The celebration of Passover, the Seder, is both meaningful and joyful. And it is a reminder, just one reminder to all of us, the important role that joy plays in the resistance against injustice. That's our time for all ages this morning. Let's head to our classroom, try some matzah bread, and explore more ways that joy impacts our lives.
I now invite you into a few moments of meditation and prayer. You might close your eyes if you wish. Feel your feet steady on the floor, your breath moving in and out. Let the air around you be a kindness. Let the earth beneath you be a remembering you are not alone. Breathe in and know you are enough for this moment. Breathe out and know that you are held. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, of many names and no name, we come carrying what is heavy and what is holy. We come carrying dreams too large for one heart to hold. Grant us the trust to believe in what we cannot yet see. Grant us the courage to walk even when the way is not clear. And when the road feels long, when our hands feel empty, and when our hearts feel tired, may we remember we are part of something larger than fear. We are part of something stronger than despair. We are held even now in a greater circle of life and love. Blessed be, and amen. Please remain seated as we sing one more step. Thank you.
In the 1969 movie, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the heroes were stuck at the top of a high clump of rocks. They spent days running from a posse, and now they either had to turn back and face the lawmen or jump from their perch into a twisting, violent river far, far below. Butch gets into a heated discussion with Sundance about the choice of staying and fighting and facing a certain death or jumping. And Butch doesn't understand the hesitancy to make that choice. "What's the matter with you?" he asks. It was a hesitancy. "I can't swim." He looks stunned for a moment, and then a broad smile comes across his face, and a giggle quickly becomes a squawky laugh. "Don't worry," he said. "The fall will probably kill you." Then they both jump. Sometimes nothing clears the mind like no choice. That moment of clarity, when there seems to be only one choice, regardless of how bad the outcome may seem. For when there is clarity, there comes a distinct moment of joy, the joy of taking control of personal circumstances and making that decision finally. We seem to live in fraught times where every day we're faced with a lot of decisions to be made, with very little information, all with consequences, and it seems like none of them good. Making no decision may seem the easier path. When it's pushed off to tomorrow, I know, I'm guilty of that, guilty as charged. Too many choices, so tomorrow will work. Only when the element of time is in the mix does clarity start to take place. And when time runs out, there is only one choice. That choice is that a decision has been made for you. So perhaps I should add another element, the outcome of joy, the joy of living true lives and being responsible for one's own decisions. Joy is internal, deep, and connected to living a more authentic life. This is because to have joy, you must do inner work, identifying our values and strengths and aligning our lives with them. I have to work at it. And to be committed to joy, joy with a big J, as a way to live my life. The good news is there is opportunity to practice joy everywhere. It's not a scarce commodity, it's really hard to use up, and most importantly, you really don't have too much, you really can't have too much of it. Joy, small j, is also cumulative. Small gratitudes and act of kindness built upon small acts leading to more sense of purpose and fulfillment. Little things every day. Letting someone with one item at the grocery store go in front of you. Offering transportation when someone needs a ride and you are going somewhere. Taking the slow route home and soaking up the journey. Making new friends and making the effort to keep the old ones. And last but not least, which is what I'm really working on, letting other people get ahead of you in traffic. All these small items bring joy to me on a daily basis, engaging in meaningful activities, fostering social connections, and practicing mindfulness. Other activities can include things like pursuing hobbies, staying active and healthy, connecting with nature, and even finding joy in quiet reflection. Quiet reflection is a hard one for me. Additionally, embracing a sense of gratitude and giving back to others can also contribute to a fulfilling and joyful life. Okay, for those that never saw Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, spoiler alert. Ready? Butch and Sundance survived the jump and supposedly found joy in Bolivia. And I survived my jump, and in doing so, continue to find joy in my life in Santa Barbara. Being a member of the Unitarian Society, stretching my limits on the worship committee and ushering, serving on the board of directors of PFLAG in Santa Barbara, being a partner, a parent, a grandparent to the best of my abilities, being a friend when a friend is needed, and to be someone to count on when it counts the most. Time is the scarcest of commodities. Joy is abundant, and clarity of purpose can close that circle. If I can wake up every morning and have these three things top of mind each day will have a purpose, and I will live it to the fullest. And that's a pretty good thing. Thank you. This month's outreach is for the Wilderness Youth Project. Time in nature makes kids happier, healthier, and smarter. You're invited to make a difference by helping Wilderness Youth Project's inspired, skilled, and committed mentors and volunteers connect with local kids in small groups to nature. Join me in saying the affirmation of gratitude and giving. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. And let us be grateful for those that share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
It's been a long, dark night, and I've been waiting for the morning. It's see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. But I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. Yes, I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
Whew. Thank you, Matthew. Last week across the country, families, students, elders, neighbors, even dogs gathered in the hands-off protests to stand together for our rights, our dignity, and a future for us, for those we love, and for those who need protection in the wider world. I had the privilege of joining in the Santa Barbara protest, and I know many of you did as well. There was an energy in the air, a mixture of anger, determination, and surprisingly, joy. I loved that people showed up with carefully made signs, some fierce, some funny, all brimming with the same message. We will not accept this. At the time, standing shoulder to shoulder, it was uplifting. It felt good to be together, but it wasn't until later when I saw the pictures that night, images of the crowds across the country, city after city after city, that I felt the tears come. Each person mattered. Each body, each sign, each voice contributed to the collective power that could not be ignored. The hope and energy continued this week in conversations that spilled into every day. That entire effort was in many ways an example of what I would call strategic joy. It feels important to begin there today because these are such unsettling times. Every week, every day, it seems that there are new assaults on rights we thought were certain. The right to vote, to make decisions about our bodies, and the continuing effort to learn the full, complicated story of our nation's history. It's not just what's being taken away, but also how it's happening. The chaos, the endless distraction. The point, it seems, is to keep us off balance, to make us feel so overwhelmed, so weary that we can't see clearly where to place our next step. In times like these, joy can feel like a luxury we can't afford. It is something for after the work is done, after justice is secured, after the fear is gone. Something extra. And yet I propose that joy is not an extra. Joy can be one of our strategies we use on our path to clarity, and clarity can open the door to real, sustaining joy. in this Passover season, I want to recall this Old Testament story of Miriam at the Red Sea. The Israelites had just escaped from Egypt, fleeing slavery, and crossing the Red Sea in a miraculous moment of deliverance. It's easy to imagine the scene, the fear, the exhaustion, the hope that is barely there. And what happens next? Miriam, the sister of Moses, pulls out a tambourine and leads the women in dancing and singing. This tambourine she carried with her out of Egypt. In the chaos of escape, when everyone had to move quickly and could bring almost nothing, Miriam packed a tambourine. Why? I think because she believed there would be a reason to celebrate. She trusted, even when it seemed foolish, that joy would be needed, that liberation would come, and when it did, their spirits would need to be able to rise up and meet it. Miriam showed us that joy is not an afterthought. It is not a reward for surviving. Joy is part of survival itself. And when we feel overwhelmed by the chaos around us, when the news feels like a battering ram against our hearts, it's easy to lose clarity. We start reacting instead of responding. I know how easy it is to feel anxious and start grasping for every headline, every outrage, thinking, if I just stay informed enough, angry enough, maybe I won't feel so powerless. But when we live in a constant state of chaos and reactivity, we lose touch with something essential, our deep knowing, our rootedness. We lose our clarity about who we are, what we value most, and what we are fighting for. Miriam's tambourine is clarity made visible. She knew, even before freedom came, that it was possible. She didn't pack her tambourine because she was sure of the timeline. She packed it because she was sure of her people, her dignity, and of the rightness of the struggle. Strategic joy isn't about ignoring suffering or pretending that everything is fine. It's about carrying that tambourine through the desert even when you're not sure where the road leads. This idea shares a spirit with the message of Tricia Hershey's work, Rest is Resistance, which reminds us that exhaustion and depletion are not the inevitable costs of caring. But today I want to move slightly differently, not just to the importance of rest, but to the active practice of joy as a spiritual and political act. How do we find that kind of clarity in ourselves? How do we cut through the chaos? First, we slow down. That sounds almost irresponsible right now with everything happening, but slowing down doesn't mean withdrawing or giving up. It means creating enough space inside ourselves to listen deeply, to listen to our bodies, to our hearts, and to one another. When we slow down, even for a moment, we can begin to sort out what is truly urgent from what is manufactured urgency. Second, we return to our core values. What are the things that are non-negotiable for you? What do you believe in, even when the winds of politics and culture are howling around you? Justice, dignity, compassion, and freedom, they are our guiding stars. And when we lose sight of them, we drift. Coming back to them again and again gives us a compass. Third, we practice community. Clarity is not something we can always find alone. We need each other to remember what's real and true. We need to be around people who remind us of the bigger picture, who can laugh with us, cry with us, and pull out the tambourines when it's time to dance. Community helps us hold on to our humanity when everything around us is trying to strip it away. And so we ask, what brings us joy in times like these? Sometimes it's the simplest things. And in a few moments, our ritual of joy and release, you will hear more about what brings people joy. Sometimes it is the face of an elder or a child, a tree in springtime, a movement of people coming together in solidarity. Author and civil rights activist Audre Lorde said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." In a world that thrives on our despair, choosing to feel, to celebrate, to love is an act of resistance. Joy sharpens our vision. It brings color back to a world that fear tries to paint in black and white. It reconnects us to our creativity, our imagination, and our sense of possibility. Joy reminds us why we fight for a better world in the first place. And here's the paradox. When we allow ourselves to feel joy, even in difficult times, it becomes easier to act. Not because the problems have disappeared, but because we are no longer acting out of panic alone. We are acting from a place of rootedness and hope. Miriam and the women understood this. Their song and dance at the Red Sea were not just celebrations of a past victory. They were affirmations of the journey still ahead. The desert lay before them. Their work was not finished, but they sang anyway. And maybe by singing, they found the strength to keep walking. Friends, we are in our own kind of wilderness right now. And there is no clear map. There is no timeline that says freedom by next Thursday. But we can still pack our tambourines. We can still choose strategic joy. And we can seek that clarity. And from that clarity, we let joy rise, not as a denial of the struggle, but as an act of defiance and a commitment to life. Strategic joy is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It is about finding a shelter within ourselves and with one another, where hope can breathe and vision can grow. It is about picking up the tambourine, even when your hands are trembling, and trusting that the song will come. Amen, and blessed be. Now we are going to move into a ritual of joy and release, a practice of letting go and trusting that the water and this community can hold it all. First, at the heart of our gathering is a large bowl. I pour water into the bowl collected from our in-gathering last fall, a symbol of our shared beginnings and of the community we built together. And today we add to it the clarity, the beauty, the sustaining strength that is present among all of us. This week, I invited you, everyone, to think about a question. What is bringing you joy? Some of you shared your reflections with me, and whether you offered a response or hold your joys quietly within, they are all part of what we celebrate today. As Gary pours water into the bowl, I will speak aloud the joys you shared. Oh, not the rocks yet, the water. My older son decided to visit me in Santa Barbara along with my little granddaughter for Mother's Day weekend. That is a joy for me. Here at Vista Del Monte, we are finally able to have lunch out on our patio. This means we can enjoy the lovely weather while eating a simple lunch with friends outdoors in the sunshine. And on Monday, we got to hear the 5th and 6th grade chorus from Montecito Union School who came and sang for us. Those kids were just amazing and brought me a great deal of joy just to see them and listen to them. This weather is bringing me joy. Our nonprofit organization reached a pivotal point to begin providing bioremediation services for Los Angeles County's landfills that are in dire need of mitigating greenhouse and odorous gas emissions through the strategic application of beneficial microorganisms for cleansing and restoring the health of soils, air, water, and ecosystems. Mars aligning with Gemini stars, Castor and Pollux, in a near perfectly straight and evenly spaced line shining brightly in the early night sky. Talking with my mom on the phone and hearing excitement for life in her voice. Riding my bike, watching spring emerge in Rattlesnake Canyon, feeling the daylight lengthening. Birdsong, USSB. Singing in the choir, big turnouts for rallies and protests. The sunshine, farmer's market, watching my family thrive, painting in the park with friends. My book club, having dear friends for over 40 years. Auction events. Picturing the waves that my dog and I meditated to for just a few minutes. It is good to see people taking to the streets to protest the administration's slide into authoritarianism. Social movements are flourishing, and people are finding their voices and talking truth to power. What is bringing me joy right now is the Big Bear Eagle family, Jackie, Shadow, Sunny, and Gizmo. Every morning, either myself or my husband turn on the live stream, and we keep it on while we have our morning coffee and prepare for the workday. One of our cats, Moxie, is also a fan of the Eagles. My dog, always ready to wag her tail when I come home, or a lick when I hug her. My calla lily has bloomed, helping my granddaughter with her art project, meeting my connection circle, the new green leaves and flowers. And I find joy in studying lichens and helping to form a lichen club. I find joy in visiting Rocky Nook Park after the rain to see how vivid and puffed up the lichens have become. With the help of a tennis coach, I am now hitting the ball the correct way, and lo and behold, no tennis elbow or shoulder. I am hitting the forearm correctly, and it feels good and doesn't hurt. My kiddos, especially watching them discover the world. The Joneses are finding new joy each day in the volunteer flowers, popping up daily this spring from Collins' 2024 seed plantings. And those are just some of our joys. This is no ordinary water. It is infused with the spirit of this community, with resilience, with love, with courage to choose joy even in the wilderness. It is a living witness to the goodness that sustains us. You should have a stone you chose on your way in this morning. If you don't have one, raise your hand and an usher will bring one to you. This stone is a symbol of something you are ready to release, at least in part. A grief, a fear, maybe a burden or a sorrow. Take a moment now to hold your stone in your hands. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight of what you are carrying. And imagine your willingness to set it down. Now, in a moment, if you are comfortable, I invite you to turn to your neighbor and exchange stones. You may choose to speak aloud the name of the burden you are carrying, or simply exchange stones in silence. Both ways are holy. As you exchange, imagine you are also exchanging a blessing, offering each other strength, courage, and clarity for the road ahead. Go ahead and exchange. In this simple act, we honor the truth that we are stronger together. When we share each other's burdens, they become lighter. When we hold hope for each other, our strength multiplies. Now, in a moment, when we will come forward, beginning from the back rows, beginning from the front row, down the center aisle, please place your stone gently in the bowl of holy water, and then circle back down the outer rows to your seat. As you drop your stone, watch the ripples move outward. Notice how the water holds each rock without losing its clarity, beauty, or peace. There is space enough in this water and in this community for all that we carry. And for those of you joining from home, you can hold your stone in your hands, and if you wish, type into the chat the burden you are offering into our collective bowl, to be held tenderly by the love and strength of this community. Please come forward. Beloveds, may the waters that now hold our burdens also nourish our dreams. May the ripples of hope and resilience continue to widen, reaching far beyond this moment, far beyond this room. And may we, like Miriam in the desert, carry with us a promise that even through sorrow, even through the wilderness, we will find the music again, and we will dance. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Please remain standing for the benediction, and if you are comfortable, you could take your neighbor's hand. May our joy not be an accident, but a choice, a strategy, a song rising clear and strong in the heart of the world. Amen, and blessed be. And let us call out a blessing.